Hi guys, I am Carly and today I am going to be showing you all how to make your own fireworks in a jar. So what you're going to need for this project is a clear jar of any type. I'm just using a clear mason jar. You're going to need some vegetable oil. You won't need a ton, so I just filled up a jar with about that much. And then you're going to need food coloring, and you can use whatever you want for food coloring. You can use, I'm using cocoa powder here to make brown fireworks, but you can use normal food coloring. You can use berries and take their coloring. You can use turmeric, you can use paprika, you can use matcha powder. You can use whatever you have in your house. And then you are going to need a plate, a fork, and some water. So your first step is to fill your cup or jar up with water 3/4 of the way. Now that our jar of water is filled, we can just set that aside, and you're going to take your plate and your vegetable oil, and you're just going to pour the oil straight onto the plate or bowl, whatever you have works. I'm going to use about that much. And then you can see there's some bubbles in there from the oil in the jar. But now you're going to take your food coloring, your berries. I'm using cocoa powder. You can use turmeric, paprika, matcha powder, whatever you have that's a food coloring or a food coloring substitute. And so now I'm just going to pour my cocoa powder straight onto my oil. And you can see they don't really mix. They're not dissolving yet. And so what we're going to do is you're going to take your fork now, and you're just going to kind of mix it all together to kind of create a food coloring and oil solution together. Kind of makes a brown solution for me since I'm making brown fireworks. But again, you can use whatever color you want. You can use multiple colors. I'm just gonna do brown fireworks. And now you're gonna take your jar of water that's filled 3/4 of the way up, and you're gonna pour in your oil and food coloring. And this is where your fireworks are gonna happen. So you're gonna watch, and you just pour it straight in, and woo, isn't that so cool? They almost make like a bubble of a firework. It's really cool. And so this is because since the food coloring dissolves in the water, but it doesn't dissolve in oil, that's how they create the fireworks. And it's just because the oil is less dense than the water, so that makes the oil floating to the top with the food coloring. And then as you saw how they dropped in again, that's how they just made this little bubble, like almost right there that I'm pointing to with my fork, because it's heavier than the oil, so it's gonna go down farther. And yeah, that's how you make your fireworks in a jar.